One of my favorite sayings in all of sports is if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. This saying is not only funny, but it is very true. A lot of the times in college football, everyone loves to think that their position groups are loaded and they have all these guys. But in reality, if you don't have one star or one notable player there, you may not have a good player at all. This situation is very applicable to a couple of teams in college football right now, but especially the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Rutgers hasn't really had a good quarterback in a very long time, and that has not changed at all in 2022. We've seen a couple boring years of Noah Vedral, and it looked like maybe Gavin Wimsatt was going to be the guy, but so far through week 1, the Scarlet Knights don't have a quarterback, the position looks to be in a tough spot, and it could have devastating results on the season. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about Rutgers football, talk about the quarterback situation, and my expectations for the team the remainder of the year. But before we can talk about them, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I have a ton of college football content coming your way, and you're not going to want to miss any of that. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you want to support the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss when I upload. Now, let's talk some Rutgers football. So as I said, there's been a couple of boring years at the quarterback spot for Rutgers. Noah Vedral transferred in from Nebraska, and he started the 2020 and 2021 season. While he did win a couple of games and made them a little bit better, he always had a pretty low ceiling, and fans were ready to move on from him quickly. Unfortunately though, there was just no one there. That was until Gavin Wimsatt committed. Originally, Wimsatt was a top 10 quarterback in the class of 2022, and he hailed from Owensboro, Kentucky. This guy was down to the Scarlet Knights and the home state school of the Kentucky Wildcats before he would decide to pledge to Greg Schiano. This was the biggest quarterback yet in school history, so there was optimism around the quarterback spot for good reason. Except there was one problem. He was class of 2022. This did not stop Wimsatt from making a puzzling move though, as he decided he was going to skip his senior year of football and reclassify. He joined the Rutgers football team midway through the 2021 season and actually got a chance to play a bit in their last few games. Unfortunately for his sake though, he didn't look very good. But who could blame him? He literally came in a few weeks ago and knew nothing. That's why everyone was giving Wimsatt an unbelievable amount of hype going into 2022, and I even hyped him up myself. He was expected to take over the starting job from Vedral, and many thought he would do well and lead the Knights into the promised land. Unfortunately, that is not how it looked in week 1, and now they have another guy at quarterback who's pushing for some time. His name is Evan Simon. Simon was a 3-star recruit out of the state of Pennsylvania, and he was a part of the class of 2020. He had not given up and continued the fight, and he now finds himself with an opportunity to play. This past weekend, Rutgers played against Boston College, and despite having one of the worst quarterback showings in years, they won the game. Both of them combined for just over 100 yards and 1 interception and failed to put the ball in the end zone. The Rutgers running game took care of business as they had 3 different players get touchdowns, and it looks like they're going to rely heavily on their ground game. Gavin Wimsatt did not look comfortable, he turned the ball over, and did not live up to the hype he had going into this season. Simon, on the other hand, looked a little bit better, but he was also not very efficient and couldn't score. Vedral is currently out with a lower body injury, and both Aaron Cruikshank and tight end Johnny Lang got an opportunity at quarterback. Right now it seems the Knights have 5 guys in their cupboard, but they might not have any. Unfortunately, to the dismay of college football fans, it probably means Noah Vedral is coming back soon, but I'm curious to see how both Simon and Wimsatt will do in week 2 against Wagner. They're going to take a quarterback by committee approach this game, and maybe they'll finally break out. In terms of my expectations for Rutgers, it's hard to be that optimistic. They should have a good chance to start out 3-0 though. They play against Wagner this weekend, and if they lose that game, they're in serious trouble. After that, they go on the road to Temple, who is in complete dumpster fire mode, and then they have a home game against Iowa. With how horrible Iowa's offense looks, there is a chance Rutgers stays in this game, but at the end of the day, I'll probably go with the Hawkeyes in that one. After that, they play Ohio State on the road, which they obviously won't win, before they have a very important 2-game stretch against Nebraska and Indiana. Both of those teams are very similar in my eyes, and they get them both at home, so they have to take advantage of that. I say they win 1 out of those 2, which will get them to their 4th win of the season. After that, they play at Minnesota, home against Michigan, at Michigan State, home against Penn State, and at Maryland. I honestly see them maybe winning 1 of those 5 games, and I don't think it'll come against Penn State, Michigan State, or Michigan. It'll come down to that Minnesota or Maryland game. While there is an opportunity for Rutgers to make a bowl, they have to overperform, and their path to 6 wins includes Maryland, Indiana, Nebraska, Temple, Wagner, and Boston College. But what the heck do I know? If you're a Rutgers fan, what are your expectations for the remainder of the season? What the heck is going on at quarterback? And if you're a fan of another school, what topic, player, team, or situation should I cover next? Be sure to let me know down below. Leave a like if you want to support the channel, and check out all my other videos on the end screen. Hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.